What's going on, guys? Today, I'd want to first go over some stuff that I thought I didn't have to, but I finished grading everyone's rough drafts, and granted, the rough draft was just a completion grade, so you either got full credit or you didn't. So everyone that did it got full credit, regardless of where you're at in the process. But a few things I want to go over again here because it seems as though you didn't look over my video on how to actually write this. So I want to go over this because your final copy is coming up here in another week here. So there are 3 sections to this paper. You have your background on your technology. You have your pluses and minuses, your positives and drawbacks, and then you have your future implications. So just 3 sections. You should put a section header for each section to tell me, now I'm going to start talking about this piece. A few key things here. You're supposed to choose a technology that has come out in the last 10 years that either has helped to prevent injury or improved injury recovery. Like I said before, this means the only thing you're supposed to talk about relative to your technology is how it impacts injury, specifically athletic injury, because this class is concepts in sports injuries. So even if your technology does a whole lot for different conditions, like let's say that you did something that's going to help with, say, peripheral neuropathy or with treating cancer, something like that, that's great, but you shouldn't talk about it for the purposes of this assignment. This assignment should only be about how this plays into athletic injury. The other unfortunate thing that I did cover, but got to cover it again, is do not use websites that are selling products. Those are not credible sources. I have it written plain as day here. A credible source has a DOI number. Where do you find a DOI number? Or a digital object identifier. That is from all academic work. If your website or a website you use has a purchase option, it talks about sales, it has prices, or it's asking you to buy something, that is not a credible source. Again, just to clarify, if the website is selling something, do not use it. I can't be any more clear about that. A lot of you, I think, are mistaking a product for technology, which that is not the case. So, for example, I actually had one from earlier today. And one of you were talking about this here. The product here is this EMP pad. That's a product. That's not a technology. The technology here is this pulsed electromagnetic field. That is a technology. Technologies are not brand names. They're not products. Technology is the underlying concept or the underlying thing that supports that product. So, for example, a BMW is not a piece of technology. A BMW is a brand. A car is a piece of technology. A Tesla is not a piece of technology. An electric vehicle is a piece of technology. There's the key difference. Your technologies are not going to be products. What makes that product run? If you can find a product, you should be able to find research on the background technology. Otherwise, you shouldn't use it. If the only information you're finding about a piece of technology is from the website that's selling it, that is not going to be a viable topic for you to use. Now, how do you find where good academic links are? Real simple. I don't think any of you have ever used a library here, but hey, let's try it. First thing you do, go to my.park.edu, type in your student ID and your password and log in. On the left-hand side here, it says library. That's where you're going to go. I click on the library, it takes me to the library site. I go to the search. First off, I want to click full text and I want to click peer reviewed. And then I'm going to search for my topic. Remember, I said that this EMP pad, not a technology, it's a product. Your technology here is the pulsed electromagnetic field. So if I just type in here, pulsed electromagnetic field, and search, it might make you sign in again. And here is everything that has to do with this. Now, what do I need to do? You need to change a couple things. On the side here, this publication date needs to change. This should say 2010. So 2010 to 2020, last 10 years, that's what you should be searching for. The other thing you should have checked right here, academic journals. You want to check those. Now you have all of your recent academic sites. This is going to give you everything that has to do with just the pulsed electromagnetic field. If I just then search for pulsed electromagnetic field and injury, now, again, my search terms or my search criteria stay the same, still 2010 to 2020, and now all results is just the academic journals. But you look here, beneficial effects of pulsed electromagnetic field during cast immobilization in patients with distal radius fracture. That's a perfectly good example there. Non-union fractures, biomechanical properties. I mean, all of these are going to be appropriate for you to use. When you click on these, and this is why you select full text, because now it'll give you the full text. If you don't have full text, you're not going to get the full text. If you can only read an abstract, that most likely is not going to give you the full picture of what you need to get all the information from this. Now, I want to go over one of these here. I do have to apologize because in the last video, which, I mean, let's be real, I don't think any of you really watched it anyway. I did make some errors in how I told you to format for APA style. I was doing that according to APA 6th edition and didn't realize that the 7th edition has come out, so there have been some slight changes. So this is an example of a paper that was written for a kinesiology class last year. What you want to do is, first off, you go to your header and you click on page number, top of page, and then select plain number 3. That is going to give you your page number that's on the right-hand side. That's it. That's all you do for your header. Nothing else anymore. Your title goes in the upper half of the title page. You should have a title page. So your title page is going to include the title of your paper, your name, the class, my name, and the assignment due date. Your title goes in the upper half of the page. You are going to capitalize all of the words that are at least 4 letters long or that are either important or they are proper nouns. So or if they're after a colon, you'll do that as well. And boldface this. You will space down 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. So when you're done with this and your cursor is on the end of your title, you hit the enter key 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. You write your name. You write the class name. So for us, that is going to be FW-140, Concepts in Sports Injury. My name, please do not write Mr. And my name is not spelled with an A there. Many people seem to write that. In our due date, May 3rd, 2020 is when your due date is. So this is what your title page should look like. Then when you scroll down, you are going to start your first page of text by again putting the title of your paper, centered, boldface. This first section becomes your introduction and background here. So you are going to be writing all about your technology, all about the background of your technology here. Every time you have any sort of outside reference, you have to cite it. You also should be citing things or writing things that are not direct quotes. You should be paraphrasing, meaning you take that information and you put it into your own words. Here's a great example. Having a higher plantar pressure, so a plantar foot pressure, has been associated with foot deformities, limited joint mobility, and sensory impairment. That is what these authors found. The person that wrote this paper, didn't come up with this on their own. They researched that, and from the article they found, they took that information out and then made it so that was in their own words, but kept the essence of what that paper said. You need to have section headers for all of your sections. Remember, 3 sections. Your introduction, that's going over the background of your technology. The only section header for the background is the title of your paper. You don't write introduction anywhere, or you don't write background anywhere. You just write the title of your paper. The first thing that comes after that is your introduction. Your second section header should be positives and drawbacks. With that, you are going to boldface positives and drawbacks, and you are going to put it on left alignment. At the start of every new paragraph, you want to hit the tab button so that it indents a 1/2 inch, which is the standard setting for all computers. You go through. You want to have one paragraph for your positives and one paragraph for your drawbacks. Now, this paper didn't have a future consideration section, so that's why one's not written, but your future considerations, again, you put a new section header, bold-faced, left-aligned, and then you would start your paragraph on your future considerations. So what does your technology mean for the future of injury? So that's what you should include in the content of your paper. Then with the reference section here. First off, your reference section is titled References, and it's now bold-faced. It's not works cited. It's not reference list. It is references. The formatting you use are author's last name, comma, first initial, period, space, middle initial, period, comma, last name, first initial, and then you use an ampersand in the reference list. After you're done with the authors, you put the date, the year date, in parentheses. You only will write the month and the day. So if you were writing month day, you would put year, month, date. That is only used if you're citing a periodical, meaning if you cite something that is like a newspaper, or it's some sort of, like, say, magazine or online journal article that has that month and date on it. You then write the title of the article. Only the first letter, proper nouns, and anything after a colon gets a capital. Everything else is lowercase. It doesn't matter if the title on the actual site you get the paper or the information from has everything capitalized. You do not capitalize anything except the first letter, proper nouns, and the first letter after a colon. After that, you write period. You then type the journal name, and the journal name is in all italics. And the journal name should have every word capitalized except words that are less than 4 letters that aren't proper nouns. After the journal title, you put a comma, and then you have edition and issue. So the edition is italicized. There is no space between the edition and your parenthesis. So you put the parentheses here, you put the issue is not italicized. The parentheses are not italicized. Comma, page numbers, period. Then you put your DOI number or your link or the website link you got it from. There is no retrieved from. You don't put anything else here except the link, and it should now be a live link. So you want your link to look like this, and I should be able to click this and get this article to come up. So that is your rundown of how to format that. Now, overall, when you're done with all your references, you want to highlight everything up to the name references, right-click, and click on Paragraph. You want to make sure the indentation on the left and the right side is 0. Your spacing before and after, 0. Line spacing should be double, so you should have this double spaced. And special, you should click hanging because you have a hanging indent. Not sure why that's not working for me there. But it should look like this, where you have the first line is left aligned. Then all the lines after that are a 1/2 inch indented. Last thing you want to do is you want to select everything, the entire paper. You want to make sure that this is Times New Roman 12 font, and under paragraph you want to make sure that this is double spaced, so everything's double spaced. So that is your rundown there of how to have the basic overview, or what to do for a basic overview for academic writing for APA's 7th edition, so the APA Style Guide 7th edition. I am begging you, please ask questions if you have any questions, because this does count for 10% of your grade. So if you fail this, you cannot get an A for the class. So please ask questions. If you need anything, get a hold of me, send me a text, call me, email, send me a Canvas message, anything you want. And then I'll be posting this here on the announcement section, which I don't know why I'm saying that right now, because you would have to see that under the announcements to actually be able to see this, but whatever. Anyways, I'll see you all later.